Okay, welcome back. Got another songwriting session. We're working on stuff a little bit, but today probably got maybe an hour. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through two different songs that I'm working on. The first one is just kind of a personal one that I've been working on by myself, using a 7/8 time kind of initially in it. Some of you may have found this channel through the short that I did where I showed keyboard and drum parts that I was writing a 7/8 time piece with. That's this one. And then maybe in about a half an hour, I'm going to switch over to the one that I've been collaborating with my friend John B. King, rock artist. We've been writing a collaborative piece together. I added some drum parts last week, and he's added some stuff. I haven't heard it yet. So we'll dive right into this one. We'll go from top to bottom. This is, again, the 7/8 piece that I'm writing by myself. I added a new section. So I'm going to play it from the beginning. You'll probably, if you're familiar, you'll recognize this whole first part here, the keyboard and drums, but I've added some other stuff to it. I've added some vocal parts. This is kind of sort of a tribal feel. As you can see, I put yeah, left, right, low. There's a string section, some textures, bass, percussion. But then I added a whole new section, and it changes time signatures. So I was trying to figure out what to do next in this piece, and nothing was feeling right. So then while I was going to bed one night, I'm laying there in bed and I just had the thought that I want to go to 4/4 time signature, go to the 4 chord of the key, and tried it out. Feels really good. So you're about to hear that. And all right, let's go for it. By the way, if you're tuning in, please let me know in the chat if you're hearing me okay, and if you're hearing the music all right. I want to make sure it's all coming through clear. Here we go. All right, I'm realizing some things did not come through. I've got to... So what I did was I bounced some of these stock sounds into WAV files to free up space without using my external hard drive to keep generating these sounds. And yet, I didn't bounce them all, apparently. So this should do it for now. This one's actually been giving me trouble. I don't know why. This is odd. It's not picking up my hard drive. Sorry, I just did this before the stream. Trying to preemptively troubleshoot. Oh, there we go. It just picked up. Let me reopen this. Loading. Let me know how your day's going. Mine's pretty good. Tired today. It's my day off from the office. I'm a pastor of worship and creative arts at a church here in Southeast Michigan. Got Friday and Saturday off. So Friday, I doubled down on creative stuff. Writing, recording YouTube videos, whether it's for this channel or mine and my wife's channel. Doing some creative planning with her, script writing, etc. Seems that we're having some real problems here. There we go. Okay. Now let me just make sure that this is actually coming through. It is. Okay. All right. Here we go. So this is kind of the new section. Still some funky stuff going on. I really don't know with the bass there. So this is all pretty new, pretty bare. So yeah, that's it so far. Pretty bare in this section. A couple of things. Man, I really don't know what is going on. Bass is not holding notes out. There's some really funky stuff going on. I'm gonna try to bounce this. So, couple of top of mind things. That whole last section, it's just piano and percussion at this point. I'll be layering in a bunch of other stuff, but it kind of goes in the general direction that it's the beginning of the general direction for where I'm trying to go with that. So more stuff will be coming from there. And then this section, what I'm kind of doing and the way I work with stuff like this sometimes is I kind of build out my main sections. And I might do a lot of instrumentation on it, but then I'll break it up, build the song structure from that section, right? Or from those sections. So some might have less elements to them, you know. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's just reload this. Can't even get into it. So this is not normal. I've got a M3 MacBook Pro, and I usually don't have any issue with this. So, but just to avoid issues, a lot of times what I'll do is I will just use the plain MIDI Logic stock sounds while writing, because this stuff starts to get really finicky. Wowzer. Okay. Guess we're just having one of those days. So what I'm going to do, let's just do this. So I had that mastering thing on, but it's really odd. It's kind of a bummer happening live. I'm not sure what that's about. All right. I'm going to ditch the external hard drive. This really slows down the creativity, but just part of it. So the only one I'm missing is this djembe that I'm using as sort of a snare. So this is what we'll do. I'll just mute that. So, as you can tell, moving on from the finicky drum pieces, I added these kind of tribal sounding vocals. What I did was I recorded 2 takes of the same thing and then panned them left and right. I like to kind of keep the natural, maybe subtle, mouth shifts, timing. I like to keep those pretty human. Pan them to the side, makes it feel wider, makes it feel like more is happening. I came up with these, I guess, vowels, syllables, if you might call them that, because I was looking for something with a little bit of a breathy echo, but not really, with a strong vowel. And yeah is what I settled on, but it's kind of a breathing yeah through the Y. So I'm going to ditch the reverb real quick. So kind of that scoop at the end of the phrase. Then I added this lower one. Just did one of these. This one's panned a little bit more center. You could tell some of them I didn't quite hit everything exactly the same, which again to me just creates the depth when you pull them all together. You could tell I intentionally, on the low one, intentionally hit the hum at a different rhythm just behind to kind of create sort of more depth. Depth as in a depth of voices. With the reverb, it's pretty saturated, but this reverb works with the mix. So when I solo the vocals, they feel really, really washy in the reverb. But when it puts it all together, it puts it into the mix in a much more, it's not as buried. And you could tell I picked a reverb that had some, nice warmth to it, so that it kept the voices going. But I also wanted something that really picked up those high frequency whispery parts. A slight pre-delay just to give it even more of that depth that I'm looking for. So here it is all together. So as you can tell, the reverb is not super heavy when it's all together. And that's the Neoverb from Isotope. So it's this next section that I really want to dig into. Let me show you this. Again, I didn't have the others layered in here, but the other drums, I mean. Let me see. Let's go with probably SoCal. Let's go ahead and this is just for your own sake, just to kind of hear what I'm creating with this. But let's do drum chamber. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Drum room, I think. No, that's not it either. We'll just go with Cathedral, just for now. And you'll hear kind of what I'm going for. Gotta put these in the right spot though. That's why. I'm going to put these out of this group. Yeah, except not a snare. Let's give it a little pre-delay. Yeah. So that's going to be rolling over top of this. It's going to be pretty distant, and it's actually a much smaller drum, but it kind of has a... I might even just tune these up real quick. I wonder if I could do it from here. It's kind of nice. It's closer. I'm actually going to shift the pitch too, just to where are we? Yep. And let's eliminate a bunch of this. Let's bring this up. Yep, that's actually closer to what I'm going for. So I'm going to have these fade in again. Now again, these are not the actual sounds I'm using because I'm having problems for whatever reason today with my external hard drive. Just since I started this live stream, it's not communicating right. But here we go. So you hear that? The subtle. Let me turn this up a bit. And actually, I want, just for your own sake, again, kind of show you what I'm going for creatively. I'm going to spread this out a bit more. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for here. I'm gonna close these windows. The sun's starting to get in the way there. Okay. So I am not even gonna save this. But what we're gonna do is now we're going to dive into the collaborative song that I'm doing with my friend and fellow artist John B. King. Again, this is very much a rock song. We were in a rock band for a few years together, 15 years ago. And we're back to writing music together. He lives in Texas. I live here in Southeast Michigan. And we're basically bouncing this Logic file back and forth to each other as we add on to it. Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff here. So I haven't, when we last worked on this, meaning when I last went live to work on this, I think I added these drums. Yeah. So I haven't heard any of this other stuff that he's added. Any of this down here. He might have changed stuff over here. So before we play it, again, we're doing a kind of a 3/8/6/4 time signature. It's a repeating mixed meter. So it goes 3/8, 6/4, 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's take a look at his notes. That's so funny. His first comment is, whew, that second part at 154 was a rough one, my brother. Almost like a jazz break. Super cool though. It's funny, I did use kind of a swing with the ride, but I wasn't going for jazz. I was hearing other stuff, but that's part of the fun of this is like I intentionally did not define where we were going more than just simply playing the drum parts, because that's part of the fun is like passing a loose idea back and forth, seeing how it's interpreted, and then what grows out of that. He says, went clean where you brought the drums down after the second chorus. Once again, threw some spaghetti at the wall. I believe there's a lot of space for you to do it some justice, or we can scrap it and I'll try again, LOL. But I scabbed on the piece, the intro, and I think it almost tapers off nicely for an ending, clocking us in at 5 minutes. All right. We're all going to hear it together. So this is all new for me. I just did the drums. I dig that. Yeah, I dig this. Yeah. Back to the minor. Yeah, I dig it. Yeah. Kind of a funny little last note there. Yeah. I think we'll recreate kind of the same thing we did here, where we have the reverbs adjusting. I'm going to bring down that high frequency too. I don't want to get too carried away in the fine details of this yet, because I got some other ideas. No, I want to do this. But where were we over here at the beginning? Ooh, we're pretty low. That seems really low. We'll just add a subtle scoop or dip, I suppose. Let's bring that dry. So again, this is, I guess, kind of the outro of the song. So, don't delete that. Don't delete that, Borin. And let's bring the wet up. Let's get a little more high frequency in there. I think I'm going to eliminate. I wonder if he did that. I don't even know if I want that note in there. Yeah, I like that better as a probable outro. Okay, so a couple things. One, again, this whole section for me, I added the drums last week for both of these. John added all this guitar work and these elements. Now, this deep sub he uses is kind of like just a really nasty low punch to work with his guitar parts. So and then this bowed metal sound. Again, this was all John. I didn't know where he was going to go with those drum parts, because what I gave him was this. We literally just came out of... Didn't even have that, actually. So this was all I gave him. And what he added was... Yeah, feels good. That feels really good. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off some of this stuff. I think here, I'm gonna save. Command S. I'm going to trim this. Wait, what did I just hit? Trim regions. Oh, got it. So basically, I just deleted the whole segment that was there, which was a double of this. I feel like I don't want to ride those too many times at once. It serves as a nice kind of surprise switching into the major there, which again was John's idea with the guitar part. So I'll give you the backup so we have some context. But I love the surprise of it, but I don't want to overstay the welcome. So let me hear this. And in the comments, let me know you're hearing this, but also let me know what you think. With me cutting this, does it feel like it fits better, or should it ride longer by doubling this section here? Let's hear it. So what do you think? Does it feel good that way? Or should we double it like this? So again, let me know in the chat what you think. My personal feel on it is that we're overstaying our welcome with that major line. We call it the chorus, especially because it's going to come back. I feel that we should cut it, but I can only think with the angle that I have as a composer and songwriter, which kind of puts me at a disadvantage. We can't usually anticipate how it sounds for other people who aren't writing it. So let me know in the chat whether you like the idea of keeping it to 1 or if we should double that. I'm going to do the same thing over here, just tentatively. And I think we could keep it doubled at the end just because it's the minor version. It's reverting back to how we started it. Let me make sure I didn't double it here too. No, we didn't. So again, this is the original riff. Keeps that minor feel. And then it switches to the major over here. It basically stays like that until the end of the song. And that was all John. I did not do any... Yeah, I didn't. All I did was the initial chord progression with this hammered dulcimer and then the drums. John kind of made those calls on putting those major feels on it and those sections, and then it was also his idea putting the original minor chorus back here at the end. I love it. I think we'll keep it doubled here. 1, it's a good way to end something, but 2, we can also, as we build dynamically, we can add more elements, and if we end up doing vocals on this song, which I'm feeling more and more like we should, you can always layer in kind of a counter melody or something more like a higher pad or string section at the end on the second chorus. So let's see. Now the bummer is I have my keyboard way back here. And I kind of want to play some stuff, but I've got some videos we're recording back here in just a bit. So I can't really move everything to where it'd be easier to access. So let me just try. I'm gonna add some. Thinking about adding some bass here. Let's try it. Again, as I referenced earlier with the other song that I was working on earlier live, I'm usually using just simple stock instruments for the MIDI for Logic Pro, and then I'll go in and add a better sample, or even if it's something that maybe I'll record later. This just kind of keeps me moving without getting too caught up in the details. It also mitigates some of the issues we might run into, like I was earlier, where I just could not get my external hard drive to work for some reason. So let me hear something. Let's see. Where'd you go? So, I'm about to pick out yeah. That feels close. Yeah. I want something thick, warm. Compressed, not muted. Some subby warmth. Okay. Yeah, kind of a I gotta get rid of this latency. Yeah, I kind of like the step ahead. It's already not going where I want it to. I am scrapping that idea. Bass, low end is too busy right now. Well, we could probably just keep that single note. Let's do that for now. Provide some of that warmth as we've it's because John is using a 7-string guitar, so I've got to fine tune the bass a bit more before I can put some movement on it, or fine tune the EQing the 7-string. We'll cross that bridge a little later. I don't feel like getting too heavy into mix right now. I'm just looking for something else in this section. Yeah. Oh, this is a bummer. I want piano in it. All right. I'm going to see if I can reach. And this is going to end up having to be... I can't bring my computer over there because I'm tied in over here. Usually I have my keyboard pretty easily accessible. But because we're recording a video later, it's back there. So what that means is I've got to kind of figure out where I want to put my fingers. I've got the sound in my head. And then I've got to nail it. So let's go up by the keyboards. Let me see. Is this already a good enough sound? It is not. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay. So I'll just start with again, kind of a generic stock instrument from Logic. Fine tune the sounds later. Let me just hear this. Ha, I kind of like that. Kind of feels good. Yeah. We'll just roll with that. All right. So, hang tight. Again, let me know in the chat if you're hearing everything okay. And this is going to be a fun little adventure. Sweet. We've got piano. I'm going to loop this for a bit, and I'm going to play around, try to see if I can recreate what's going on in my brain. I don't quite have it dialed in to the point at which I can just tell you exactly what notes I'm thinking all the time. And with this one, I can't. So, we're going to play around. That's right. I forgot we're dealing with so much latency on this one. All right, so I think I got something figured out here. Now let's just aim for it. Okay, so might be more than I wanted to, but it's always easier to take away. I'm gonna crank this a little higher than I will permanently in the mix, just so it's a bit clearer for you. I'm actually we're gonna kill all of this low end. I don't need it. Okay. I'm gonna, well, no, I was gonna quantize it just a bit, but it's a nice human element here. So I know that that's still pretty quiet, so I'll give you some more gain. But in the overall mix, I actually do want to have it pretty quiet. I'm going to pan it more too. So kind of, I liked this. Like that a lot. Don't like this note as much. But I like what I'm doing. A little more dissonance. We could go even more dissonance. Oops. Yeah. And this time, I'm actually going to. Yeah. Because now we're kind of feeling like a little walk down just at the end to transition it out. And then I'm going to change this too. Okay. Yup. That's a little more like what I'm going for. Nice little transition. And what we'll do here, so obviously these little MIDI trick here, I like to keep things, if I'm going for human, I like to keep them pretty human. So how do I do that? When I didn't hit the notes, my keyboard's way over there, I would just record it again, but I don't want to get up, hit record, miss it, blah, blah, blah. So upon reflecting on this transition here, I heard that this note would go up a whole step as it carries into the next segment. I want it to kind of flutter in and flutter out. So dynamically, it's kind of gentle, and then it's like, hello, I'm here, and then it's gentle again. I also don't want it to be very, I don't want the notes to be super predictably consistent, right? Because that's the whole point of doing that trill on the piano. So, very easy way around that to get a little more human element. Select all those notes in the piano roll. Go to MIDI transform. So go to functions, MIDI transform, humanize. I loved it when I found this. So let me bring that to your window. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. So I don't know why that has to be here. So looking at this, this is giving you velocity and timing difference. So I'm going to get a bit of a timing difference here. Not a ton. And then I do want to get some nice variation. Oh, actually, before I do that, here's how I want to assure that I get the right velocity that I'm going for. Dynamically, right? The rise and then fall. It's going to go like this. First, right as we get to kind of the end of this segment, I want to raise, and then I want the rest to lower. That might be a bit dramatic, but I can always come back and fix it in a bit. So now that I've done that, right? So I'll show you what that sounds like. That's already pretty close to how I would want to do it. But I'm going to go ahead and do the humanize thing. So again, functions, MIDI transform, humanize. Don't know why that's happening. It literally disappears. That's so weird. So again, velocity differences here. I don't want to get too crazy with it. And then timing, let's get a little odd. And then I've already selected the notes, so I'm not going to hit select operate. I'm going to just hit operate only. And you'll see. So I just hit Command Z. I undid what I just did. So watch the notes over here. When I hit operate only, you see that they change both in time, where they were, and also in velocity. So, thank you. Got my lunch delivered. I'll do it one more time. Now let's hear it. Yeah. Now it is a bit harsher than I think I want it to be. So I'll just drag all those, and then let's go ahead and hear it. We'll hear that whole last couple seconds. Great. So the transition isn't as magical yet. There's some reverb stuff I'm going to add. Also, again, the volume is a big part of that. It's pretty loud right now, but I'm just wanting you to hear it. Overall, I want it to actually sit really deep in the mix. I'll put it kind of where I'm more thinking. And you know, here's what I want to do. I do want a little bit more time with it. I'm just going to cut these. So same process. Don't know why that happens. Okay. See that? And actually, I kind of want these to rise and then fall. I added a little bit of extra space here because I feel like that's a little more natural. I'm also going to do the same here because I'm stepping away from that note. And in reality, I would start here. Let's bring these down a bit quicker. Yeah. So, I've got the Space Designer on, but this is kind of a really short that adds depth. And I really like that. But I still want a little different reverb on there. I mean, honestly, that kind of fits it. So there's too much low end in this reverb. So I just want kind of a distant feel. Sorry if I just blow out your ears. Didn't mean to do that. And then in context. Yeah, it's just subtle. A reverb that kind of happens after the other one. Yep, still even too loud. Yeah. And we're a bit too far panned, actually. Yeah, it's just real subtle. So, I gotta wrap. I'm really digging into this section though. Like, I've got ideas. This is what's hard about doing these sessions. I'm on a time crunch. And there's not, I wouldn't say a lot as in terms of like you would hear a lot, but there is a lot that I want to work on here. One thing is kind of a washy pad. I think I'll go ahead and try to find that now. Okay. Now, I'm not the best at building pads. I just generally know what sound I'm looking for. This part is not as fun for me. So what I'm going to do first, add the notes. I don't know why that keeps happening. There's something funky with this track, or this project, that moves stuff in a weird way and automatically quantizes. I don't know. I don't know if it's something John did. It's not something I'm used to experiencing. I think there's one. Airways? That's kind of there. There's a lot of movement there. And I honestly don't know. Oh, I forgot too. I gotta make sure I have this piano. Never mind. Oh, I see. Cool. I want to lower that attack. Okay. So subtle EQ over it. And then I think what I'll do is add a stereo spreader. Yeah. Yep. Cool. So I'm going to take some notes now and leave them for John. I'll go ahead and wrap it here. Thank you if you tuned in. And yeah, I'll keep doing this on Fridays. Probably going to aim for some Wednesdays here soon. I like doing it earlier, but it seems like most people kind of get on around 11:30 to noon. So might have to do it then. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yeah, see you next time.